Patriots, let's dive into a troubling ruling from the Western Cape High Court that has raised eyebrows among many South Africans. A judge has ordered Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber to reconsider a decision made by his predecessor, Aaron Motsoaledi. This decision refused permanent residency to an illegal immigrant from Angola who is seeking to stay in South Africa indefinitely to access medical care for her severely disabled son. Can you believe this, Patriots? An illegal immigrant is refusing to leave South Africa, and a judge is entertaining her plea solely based on her son's condition. The boy suffers from spastic quadriplegia, a severe form of cerebral palsy, and has been receiving medical care at the Red Cross Children's Hospital, along with advanced therapy at a care center in Cape Town. We have to remember that this disabled son was not born in South Africa. His mother wants to live here indefinitely with him. How does that sit with you, Patriots? It's clear that NGOs are involved in this case, and it raises serious concerns about the implications for South Africans who also need medical care. We mustn't forget that there are millions of South Africans who are struggling to access similar medical care, yet they remain silent while illegal immigrants are afforded opportunities that locals can only dream of. The ruling, issued by Acting Judge Nazreen Bawa, mandates Schreiber to revisit the decision within 6 months. To me, this ruling is overreaching and raises the question, are judges now rewriting the law? How can a judge allow such nonsense to happen when she knows full well that millions of South Africans are without access to proper medical care? The court took steps to protect the identities of the mother and her children, including the 17-year-old boy and his younger sister. But Patriots, this is just the beginning. She will make all these excuses, and before we know it, they will want citizenship. These NGOs are being paid millions of rands to keep illegal immigrants in the country while our own people are left suffering. In 2022, this illegal immigrant applied for a special exemption to obtain permanent residency in South Africa. She had remained illegal in the country for about a decade after arriving under a visitor's visa, ostensibly for holiday purposes. But let's be real, her primary intention was to seek medical care for her child. So she came to South Africa for what was supposed to be a holiday and never left. Isn't it infuriating, Patriots? It seems she has an audacity to fight to live in South Africa illegally, even trying to amend the laws from outside of Parliament. Her application for permanent residency cited her son's need for ongoing medical treatment and therapy that is unavailable in Angola. Yet, she initially came here for a holiday. How can we take her claims seriously when the very foundation of her stay was built on dishonesty? The boy was born in Luanda in 2007, and his severe disabilities prevent him from walking, speaking, or caring for himself. His condition causes chronic pain, and he will require specialized medical care for the rest of his life. We must recognize that South Africa is home to many citizens facing similar challenges. Still, the NGOs seem to prioritize helping illegal immigrants while our locals suffer in silence. In 2013, the family arrived in South Africa, and their visitors' visas expired in early 2014. The husband returned to Angola in 2014, leaving the mother and children behind. She applied for a visa extension for her son, but was told to return to Angola to do so. That was the law. You cannot be an illegal immigrant and expect to apply for a visa while staying in the country. This is an abuse of our systems. Home Affairs rejected her request, yet she didn't leave the country. We all know that Home Affairs has its shortcomings, but let's not pretend that this woman's case is straightforward. Judge Bawa pointed out that there had been no attempts to legalize the family's stay before their exemption application. As an illegal foreigner, the mother is ineligible for formal employment. This judge seems out of touch, Patriots. Millions of South Africans are unemployed, yet she chooses to sympathize with an illegal immigrant. It's absolutely unacceptable. In South Africa, whether you have an ID or not, people are struggling to find work, and she doesn't seem to grasp that reality. The boy was accepted at a Cape Town-based care center, providing therapy for severely disabled children and adults, operating through donor funding and contributions from the Health and Social Development departments. In court documents, the mother claimed that such care is unavailable in Angola. Yet, she has become a burden on our government services, while demanding even more. We mustn't forget that millions of South Africans with similar conditions do not receive specialized medical care like this, and they aren't fighting in court to demand their rights. This judge knows the situation, yet chooses to ignore it. Motsoaledi rejected the family's request for permanent residency in 2022, citing a lack of exceptional circumstances that warranted the exemption. If we consider the condition of her son as exceptional, then what about Zimbabweans or Chinese nationals with similar challenges? It's essential to acknowledge that the needs of South Africans should come first. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the judge, but this judgment reeks of inconsistency and unfairness. For goodness sake, she understands that many South Africans face similar struggles, yet she doesn't seem to care about their plight. All she seems to care about is appeasing NGOs. Motsoaledi highlighted South Africa's economic challenges and high unemployment rates, asserting that the family's needs should be the responsibility of Angola. If we allow the mother to remain here based solely on her son's medical condition, we are setting a dangerous precedent. This opens the floodgates for other undocumented foreigners to make similar claims. Just look at the Zimbabwean permits. One day, Nigerians will want theirs too, and if we deny them, it will be labeled as discrimination. The family argued that their son's best interests should take precedence as outlined in the Constitution and the Children's Act. Can you imagine? They came here for a holiday, and now they're invoking the Constitution as if they are entitled to residency. Judge Bawa found that the minister's decision did not appear to take the children's best interests into account. While the minister acknowledged the relevant constitutional rights, his reasoning lacked evidence that he had truly considered the impact on the boy and his younger sibling. This omission is the foundation of her ruling to set aside his decision. However, Bawa made it clear that her ruling was not an endorsement of the family's eligibility for permanent residency. That's a fine line, isn't it? It's like she's acknowledging the issue while simultaneously opening the door for further complications down the line. Bawa warned that deciding the issue in court could create an unintended precedent and noted that the family's ongoing medical needs could place a heavy burden on the state. But why should the minister be the one responsible for deciding the fate of these illegal immigrants? Why can't the judge apply the law as it is, especially the provisions that protect South African citizens? She pointed out that South Africa's government is already bearing a significant portion of the costs through free medical services and subsidies provided to the care center. Ultimately, Judge Bawa deferred the decision on permanent residency back to the minister, stressing that the issue involves complex policy considerations that require careful scrutiny. It's ironic, really, because while she raises these important questions about the role of the state in providing for foreign nationals' healthcare needs, she also fails to address how such decisions might affect future immigration policies. The outcome of this case could set a dangerous precedent, especially for families relying on charity or state resources. As patriots, we need to be vigilant about how these rulings affect our nation and our people.